A lot of factors making the weather dangerous again today. The temps, the wind, the icy roads, and that means travel problems for drivers. 19th Avenue in North Fargo closed from 18th Street to Dakota Drive about 6 this morning. At the Fargo Airport, some flights have been delayed, others canceled completely. In the Northern Valley, a no travel advisory is in place in several areas of North Dakota and Minnesota. One of the major roads impacted includes I-29 north of Grand Forks. Officials are reporting black ice, blowing and drifting snow, and near zero visibility in the Northern Valley. Dozens of cars have ended up in the ditch today. Valley News Team's Ryan Laughlin was out in the whiteout conditions and tells us where the worst of it is.
A lot of wind, a lot of vehicles in the ditch.
Blowing snow and low visibility.
It really hasn't been a very fun drive.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty windy.
Earlier today in the Northern Valley, no travel advised as dangerously low temperatures added an element of danger to already icy roads.
The snow coming across, you can't see the car in front of you.
Some changing plans because of the conditions.
I think I'm going to stop in Devil's Lake today because I don't want to go north.
Highway 2 and I-29, two major roads where travel was not advised. Still, many tried anyway.
How much further you gotta drive today?
Probably another 300 miles.
Advice for drivers:
watch out for cars in the ditch.
Or better yet,
if you don't have to be outside, you shouldn't.
From Grand Forks, Ryan Laughlin, Valley News Live.
Minnesota State Patrol says from midnight to 11 Monday morning, 486 crashes were reported in the state. 2 of those were fatalities, one in Eagan and the other in Thief River Falls. 298 vehicle spinouts also reported, as well as 7 jackknifed semis. For the latest travel advisories, head to our website, valleynewslive.com, for links to the North Dakota and Minnesota DOT maps. We're getting a clearer picture of just how brutal it's been out there today. So let's get a few more details about tonight. Hutch?
Well, I'm looking at the sky cam. It's anything but clear out there as our wind continues to gust, blow snow, clouds, and it is very icy on many area surfaces. As you just mentioned, the roads are tricky as well as sidewalks. Here is a look at the current wind chill values. Between 30 and 40 below is what it feels like on exposed skin. And anyone who's been outside today knows how brutal it is. We want to take this moment as a reminder to make sure that you have a survival kit in your vehicle, something to stay warm should you become stranded at the road's edge. A wind chill warning in effect overnight, and advisory is extended out for many of our central Minnesota counties, as wind chills will be as cold as 55 below zero in places early tonight. Temperatures will slowly fall off. It looks like the coldest of our cold weather stretch will be tonight for many of us. But I have good news with regards to some milder temperatures on their way. But first, we have to make it through a very brutal night tonight. Stay warm, stay safe, and if you have to travel, use caution.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
You bet.
And make sure that you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app so that you can keep up with the weather anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so that you can plan your day. All you have to do is search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free. New developments tonight in the case against the woman accused in the murder of Savannah Greywind. The sentencing date for Brooke Cruz has now been set. She's scheduled to appear in court on February 2nd. Cruz changed her plea to guilty for charges of conspiracy to commit murder, kidnapping, and providing false information to law enforcement back in December. Cruz and her boyfriend, William Hain, initially pleaded not guilty to conspiracy to commit murder and kidnapping in the death of 22-year-old Savannah Greywind. Hain is scheduled to appear in court in March. Investigators haven't said how Greywind was killed, but Fargo's police chief has called it a cruel and vicious act of depravity. Greywind was 8 months pregnant when she disappeared in August. Her body was found a little more than a week later. The baby was found alive in Cruz and Hain's apartment in Fargo. Fire investigators in central Minnesota fear someone may be dead after an early morning fire at an apartment building. It started about 6 this morning in Alexandria. Police tell Valley News Live most people in the building had escaped by the time officers arrived, but they are still looking for one person. Investigators have not released any other details. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Deep down, we had the feeling that it wasn't for real. We thought it was North Korea. They couldn't possibly be that stupid. And that was kind of the bottom line for us, although it did, you can't help but be a little apprehensive about it.
Hawaii residents and tourists are still unsettled after the terrifying message they all received on Saturday. And one of those people is a Fargo dentist. He says it was alarming, but figured it had to be fake. Valley News Team's Melanie Palmer has the details on what was going through his mind when he got it and what a lot of people are considering a horrifying message.
All personnel take shelter.
Chaos erupted in Hawaii Saturday when an emergency missile alert accidentally went out. The alert said a ballistic missile threat was inbound and to seek shelter immediately.
The U.S. Pacific Command has detected a missile threat to Hawaii.
John Anderson and his family were in Hawaii on vacation and saw the whole thing happen. In fact, he was on the golf course.
Well, even though you don't think it's real, we were unsettled for a while, just thinking, boy, this is pretty strange.
The alarm definitely got their attention, but he and the people he was golfing with thought something didn't seem right.
We got a little apprehensive. We looked around and just thought, well, this really, we didn't feel like it could possibly be real, but there wasn't a lot we could do, so we were informed we should probably go back to the pro shop.
And that's when they went to the pro shop. They were only there for a couple of minutes and then went back to the course. His family was back at the hotel, and he says they had similar suspicions.
They were not with us. They were kind of looking around, figuring what they should do too. They were talking about there was a shelter somewhere they could go to, but it never came to that.
Although Anderson suspected the alert was an accident, not everyone who got it did. And now questions are being raised about the credibility of these emergency alerts, all because someone pushed the wrong button. In Fargo, Melanie Palmer, Valley News Live.
So what if you got that same message here in the FM area? We did some research because we wanted to find out. The Department of Homeland Security says to take shelter immediately and avoid going outdoors. They say to get in a brick or concrete building. For more information on what to do and where to go if you ever receive this kind of alert, head to our website, valleynewslive.com. After a rocky start leading up to their opening week, a Fargo business now says all events will go on as scheduled. This is after Valley News Live pressed Chick-fil-A as to why their original opening event, scheduled for Wednesday, was canceled. The confusing back and forth follows our story that blew up on Facebook this weekend. A Fargo mom says she was kicked out of the new Chick-fil-A restaurant for breastfeeding her baby. Macy Horning says she was approached by a store owner during a soft opening event and was asked to cover up. Horning says she tried to explain that her daughter will start to cry if she's covered and that the North Dakota law allows her to breastfeed in public. That's when she was allegedly told to get out. The Fargo Chick-fil-A owner tells Valley News Live she sincerely apologizes for the way she handled the situation. As a reminder, the restaurant is going through their planned pre-opening event for Wednesday and open to the public Thursday morning. A back and forth